Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Alex.
This is Boscha. Welcome to the Odyssey. This is episode 49, I think.
49? Yeah, I think so. 49.
Should be.
Yeah. And if you may or may not notice, we sound a little bit slightly better than usual.
Well, spoilers alert. We just get a bunch of new equipment and it's pretty damn exciting. Putting it mildly.
Yeah, Bashka is like a giddy little kid right now.
Unfortunately, I am.
Okay, anyways.
Yes.
So in this episode, of course, we finally got to the juiciest of all the juicy bits in the world.
Right.
The end of our, well, not the end, but
What is this? Phase 3?
phase 3. Well, pretty much the whole point of watching this MCU is for this movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
But there's still a bigger threat coming over, right?
Right, but then this is 10 years of story building leading up to this moment.
Yeah, but wait. Who was Phase 2 bad boss?
Nobody. All of the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 was building up to
build
this.
For the Phase 3,
Yes.
for this final.
Yes.
I see.
Of course, the movie we're talking about is Avengers Endgame.
Woo!
So, okay. Bashka, we both watched this in the theaters a while back when it first came out.
And I had like zero memory of it, so...
Yeah, and Bashka didn't really enjoy it at that time because he didn't know what was
Right.
going on.
Right.
But now that you have context with everything that's going on, you're like, I hear you giggling and laughing more, and you understand the jokes now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now?
Well, of course, I'm more invested now, right? I know what's what, and I know the kind of reference or like the background or why they do certain mission in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Because there are a relation between them and the mission at hand. So now that I could see it, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's why they do that. So that's why they do this. Like back then, I was like, huh? Why did they? Well, I guess that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but now watching this, how do you feel about it?
It feels grander than what I originally watched. Originally, when I watch it, I'm like, okay, I guess this is what everybody's hyped about, and I watched it, and just like, it's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? But this time, it feels that everybody, like everything is built up exactly for this moment.
Yeah.
And I could see the way they hype it too during the movie. I don't know if it is like pre-movie, like, or how people hyped it up, but this one I could see it how the build up is getting paid off, and they make sure they make it very extravagant, like if I want to put it that way. It's everything felt grand, even from the opening all the way through.
Right. Yeah, because I remember like we're also hyped to watch this. We're also excited to watch this because from Infinity War, there was also 2 movies in between, right?
Yeah.
So we had to wait like almost like a year.
Right. I guess they teased it even farther.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't just give you the conclusion. Yeah. Well, that's the conflict and the resolution. Yeah. Sorry, there's 2 movies before that.
Right? So can you imagine like just waiting for that long just for the next part?
Yeah. The fans are probably like scratching themselves hard. Like, really?
Yeah, very much. So my question for you now is, was this the movie that sucked you into the MCU? Like now you see why everyone likes it?
Well, yeah, I could see it because like now, how do I say this? After all the, well, if you guys have been watching all this far, you probably know that I've kind of like, kind of have a little bit of gripe here and there with the origin story, right? But it kind of set up the base of the character and whatnot. And now at this point, they had the, how do I say this? Like a creative touch of how the character is, right? You could say that now the character's kind of like separated from their origin story and now they become their own character.
Yeah.
And their story just met this epic final clash. And now they kind of go their own route kind of thing, their own way. But now it's in their character. So now I'm interested, especially I know their whole journey too, right? So now I'm curious what's coming next. How is it going to play it out? How are these people going to interact now, right?
It's so interesting to see all these characters grow, and now you're excited to see what's coming next.
Yeah.
Especially since this is like the close of a chapter, right?
Yeah.
All like 10 years of these characters being built up, and some of them had to leave.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the story, like some of the characters, especially like prevalent character, literally, and like it's almost like this whole thing is their journey, and the end of this phase 3, or I should say like the one big chapter, is the end of their story. And then the next part will be like these new people, new hero doing their own thing and becoming the new main character.
Yeah. The next generation, so to speak.
Because the way I look at it, like now, like this whole journey has been the story of 2 main protagonists, which is Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah.
And well, spoiler alert, at the end of this part, their story kind of ended. And now the new hero, still don't know who the next big chapter main character is going to be, but
Well, you can kind of have an idea because what happened at the last battle, you can kind of see like Hawkeye passing the gauntlet to the other characters. That's kind of like a symbolism of passing the torch to the next heroes. So I think Marvel wanted like Black Panther, Spider Man, Captain Marvel to be like the new face of the MCU.
I see.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way at least this movie ended, it didn't feel that way at all. It felt very open ended almost because everybody just walked their own different branch, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't know if it'll gonna intertwine again or whatever it's gonna do, but right now they're going on different path, and I don't see any of them being a main character as of yet. So if they suddenly introduce like a completely new hero that they just decided, like, okay, I want this character to be like the new thing, or like introducing a new origin story to be like the new big meat, you know? Like I would be like, oh yeah, totally. Like it won't feel odd, and I'm okay with that.
I think the way. Okay, so if it was me doing all this stuff, I think in the next phase 4 of the MCU, I would have more of these characters interacting with each other because now
Right.
they're more familiar with each other. But not only that, but these heroes are also living within the same area of each other as well,
Oh,
right? So you have like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man living in New York,
right,
right? You have Ant-Man living in San Francisco, I believe.
right,
And I'm sure there's, I think Shang-Chi lives in San Francisco as well.
right.
Right. So then you have all these characters that can interact with each other. Not only that, but now they're more familiar with each other and they have the hologram technology like we saw with Black Widow communicating with the people in the group.
Yeah.
So they're able to, tell each other, hey, this is going
Yeah.
on.
But the thing is, like, don't you think that's a very messy thing
It is.
that they're dealing with?
It is.
Because now they're trying to do, how do I say this? Like, almost 100% creative, right?
Yeah.
So they have to come up with their own thing and doing stuff. But the thing is, like, with MCU, right? There's always a bigger threat, a bigger new whatever, the next Thanos, so to speak, right?
Right.
And even more stronger and more dangerous. I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I just assume. But yeah, that's the thing. Like trying to, keep the pathway towards, the next big threat while doing like an interaction between the hero and whatnot might, convolute some part of the thing. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be, but I mean, I'm interested to see how it's gonna go. I hope it goes, well,
Right.
because
Well,
it's interesting now. So
yeah, because as you said, like as these characters become more intermingled with each other and dealing with these threats,
that's right.
now the audience, like us, expect something grander and bigger.
Right. That's right.
Not only that, but in the next movies, and then we see these characters doing their own thing. We'll be like, okay, so where's Doctor Strange? Where's Captain Marvel? Where's this person? Where's that person? And they have to explain it in the movie, like, oh, they're on vacation, or they're in space doing their own thing, or he's in another dimension, or whatever, right? So it's kind of lame or sucky that they have to do that, but they have to do that now.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I mean, by saying that, like, oh yeah, this character's in like different dimensions doing whatever, it's kind of dismissing, which I understand. It kind of like, it's, let's just say it's Spider-Man movie. Why is Doctor Strange showing up, right?
Yeah.
So I know that they'd be like, oh yeah, they're dealing this with other place, but at the same time, it could be used as a, what do you call it, like a good callback on the next movie when it's actually the movie. Let's just say the intro is like, okay, let's just say Captain Marvel is like this several light years away, like several billion light years away. And then in the next intro of her movie, it'll be like her flying or like doing whatever way across the universe. And, I think that if it's played right, I think it could be a pretty cool thing.
It could be, but I don't know.
Will it? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of, we'll see in Spider-Man Homecoming, they kind of make a thing about it. Like Doctor Strange's busy, Captain Marvel's in space.
I haven't watched it, so I can't say yet. But well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a future spoiler. So like, okay, now that Thanos is dealt with, I know we're talking about like the future of MCU, but we'll get to Endgame.
Definitely.
Yeah. But anyways, as I was saying, like dealing with Thanos, he was like pretty much like a planetary threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's on a planet level.
No,
threat.
I don't. Is it?
Yeah.
Because he snapped and is
Yeah,
it
but
just a planet?
that's only when he had the stones though.
Oh,
Without
I
the
see.
stones, he was just a planetary threat. Right. But now people are expecting something even bigger, like multi-dimensional threat,
Okay. Is this like a spoiler?
like a universal threat. No, I'm just saying,
Oh, I
like,
see. The
like
next big
eventually it's gonna get so big, like it can't get any bigger than that. You know what I mean?
I remember something like Galactus. Was that a thing?
Yeah, exactly. He goes around eating planets. Right? What's bigger than Galactus?
Is there one yet?
There is.
Oh.
I'm sure there is, but like,
Oh.
eventually you're gonna have to go. Okay, we can't continue this path because we can't keep getting bigger. We're gonna have to reboot the series.
But the thing is, like, how do I say this? Like, well, yeah, that eventually is going to be probably like a long, long year, right?
Yeah.
Because to get to Thanos, it takes what, 10
It
years?
took them. No. Well, they said that this time around, they're not going to take as long to get to the next threat.
I see. So they're gonna chop off. Well, I guess because the introduction and whatever's already been done, right?
Yeah, exactly. All these characters are pretty much more or less introduced,
Yeah.
except for, of course, the new heroes that they want to introduce, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's only so far.
Yeah, it won't be as much as
Yeah,
what
exactly.
is already introduced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We already have an established universe, so you don't
Yeah.
need to build that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it won't take that much, but yeah, now I'm just curious how they're gonna deal with it.
We'll see if we ever do. If we ever do Phase 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Wordings.
Yeah. So we'll watch Phase 4. Maybe we'll watch it when it's finished.
How far is it right now?
I have no idea. I think there's like a couple of movies. There's 3 TV shows and 2 movies or something like that.
So speculation though. So to get to the big threat, the first big threat, I guess, with Thanos, right?
Mm-hmm.
It took like 3 phase, right? 1, 2, 3 phase is the Thanos part, isn't it? Like the chop.
No,
Thanos
they
chapter,
they teased Thanos at the end of Avengers 1. So that was in Phase 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, well, phase 2 and phase 3 is
No.
I guess
So Phase 1 they teased Thanos.
just teased it.
Phase 2 was the introductions of the stones,
Mhm.
and then Phase 3 was them coming together.
Yeah, but that stones and Thanos are like pretty much interlocked, right?
Yes.
And so it's safe to assume that that's like Thanos chapter, right? So to
Mhm.
speak,
Yeah.
like a step up to where Thanos gonna be, where he's gonna be the main bad enemy, right?
Yeah.
So well, give and take. Okay, so the forming of Avenger is the phase 1, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then phase 2 and phase 3 is the stone and Thanos, right? So pretty much 2 phase takes for Thanos to pretty much complete, right?
Yeah.
So right now there's phase 4,
Yeah.
and it won't end with just phase 4, right?
No.
In phase 5, and then probably the threat, right? Because phase 4 would probably be the introduction to the build up to the big bad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
So,
So
probably at least gonna take like around two big phase, right?
I think what they're gonna do is in
Mhm.
Phase 4 they're gonna introduce the big threat,
Mm-hmm.
and then Phase 5 is when they fight.
They fight it, right? And
Yeah.
how to beat him.
Yeah. So
Alright.
it's not gonna take as many phases, but also not as many movies either, because now they're doing TV shows.
Right.
Yeah. So they're able to extend that life.
I don't
so
know if
to
I
speak.
really want this spoiler, but the TV shows, does it actually build up to the next phase, or is it just like
Yes.
unleashing? Oh, it is.
It is considered part of the phase.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it's like, because a couple of things that I watch, it feels like it just flash out the character, and it's kind of like of a past tense too. It's like about their past, so I don't know how well it builds up for the next thing. So
It is. It's see the thing about Marvel is like,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of shitty.
okay,
But like at the end of every of their movies or shows,
Right.
it's always okay. Here's the
A
next
little
thing that's
teaser
coming.
kind of
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
But then now you're thinking about what's coming next and not the actual show itself. If that makes sense.
Right. Well, the thing is, honestly, a lot of the movies can be skipped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, provided you know what the storyline is, you just like, okay, well, what's the next thing? I just like, okay, cool. He's doing whatever, but
Yeah.
I want to know what's coming. What's the big thing next, right?
Yeah.
Probably because like they showed Thanos very, very well too. Like the chapter was so great, and then people are just like, okay, when can I see the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of on that train too, I guess.
So okay, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Would you have appreciated Endgame as much as you do now if you skipped the movies that we said to skip in the marathon?
But that's not that many though. There's
Uh,
like probably like what 3, 4 movie that we.
I think it's like some sequels, maybe
Yeah.
even like an origin here or there. I think like
Uh.
because at least I would say at least a quarter, if not more, of the movies are skippable, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd say like around the quarter. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like in that quarter, a lot of them, like for example, like
But you're spending more time with those characters. Is what I mean, right? You're starting to
You're
get
getting
more
attached
attached.
and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Like for example, Guardian of the Galaxy, the second movie,
Yeah.
it really is not necessary. Nothing happened. No character development. No nothing. There's a cool interaction here and there. It's funny. It's a good
Well,
laughing movie, but
but you have Nebula and Rocket having character development in Guardians too.
slightly like it's cool. But again, if we skip that, and it doesn't really matter too much, I think. Like for me, honestly, watching this whole thing, I don't know if it's because the whole journey makes the whole Thanos just that awesome, or his character just amazing to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I kind of appreciate in a sense that all they went through is to make Thanos, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So it just felt that Thanos is great.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like honestly, I don't think they're able to beat Thanos in a way that would be, how can I say, like satisfactory to us. Just because, okay, for me, I don't want the next villain to be like Thanos. Like, have
Oh
like
yeah, definitely. I don't want the exact same. I would be
no,
like,
like
what?
no, like I don't want our villain to have like a motivation for what he's doing. Like, he
Yeah,
cares
that's
about
what I mean.
the,
What I mean. Like
I want,
because Thanos has a drive, right? He has like a principle.
yeah.
He's doing something because he believes, and this is like a mission that he's bearing into himself.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I don't. Of course not. I don't want the next guy to have another like justification of what the action.
Yeah.
No. Just being a conquering mad villain. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I want the same level of presence, the same amount of charisma, the same amount of threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's what I
okay,
want.
I got you.
I know that I like Thanos as a character, but like what I appreciate most about him is the amount of threat he brought to the whole heroes. Like he is such a big adversary, even without the stones. They're wiping the floor. It's like, woo.
Which, okay, so that's our overview and future
Yeah.
of MCU, I think.
Yeah. Now, but by this whole talk, you probably know how much I'm invested in this thing now.
Yeah, you went from zero, you went from like, this is all right, to
Yeah.
like now you want to see what's next.
Because it is. It's like you just go like, I mean, like in the beginning you're like, okay, it's just another superhero movie, whatever.
Yeah.
But now that you can see what it is, especially if they show the potential, like the ability of a conflict,
Yeah.
like of a big conflict, of a great threat, and this ray of hope that is, protecting or like fighting to protect, right?
Yeah.
And this huge unstoppable force, and you see them clash, and it's done in a very satisfying way. You just can't help but want to see the next thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just done well.
I'm actually surprised that your heart grew 3 times its size while watching this MCU.
Wow. What do you mean by that?
Because I always thought, what was the movie that just brought, like, you're just like, okay, I'm in it for the ride? Was it only until this moment where you're just like, okay, now I get it?
Not really, because at point in Civil War, the clashing between Captain America and Iron Man, that makes me go, okay, now this is two ideals. The two heroes have a vision of how to protect something.
Yeah.
It has the same goal of protecting things, just a completely different method.
Yeah.
Like different ideology. And that's clashing was amazing. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now I want to see where these two thoughts will result it in, right?
Yeah.
Because when there's kind of two thoughts kind of happen that way, usually one would be proven wrong and then one would get swallowed by the other idea, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, this didn't happen even until way long, until this movie, until the Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Even that idea was kind of like, at this point in time, it was like, well, nothing we can do now. And it, in a way, I appreciate it because this two idea is kind of like what makes the character, right?
Yeah.
Like Captain America, the way he pushed through and how Iron Man pushed through with his idea.
Right.
If one eats up the other idea, I got a feeling that it'll kill the character. So I'm glad this way kind of just, well, oh yeah, your idea about protecting this? Well, too bad. I'm inevitable. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh, okay, now we just completely forgot about that. I'm like, oh, okay, that is not the time to care about that shit. There's a big bad over here.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this just makes me go like, ooh. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Enough of rambling. We should actually talk about the movie itself.
Right. We're too excited.
Yes. Okay. So if we didn't spoil it, we're gonna spoil it now, I guess. So okay, in Endgame, because there's like literally everybody and everything in there, we're gonna split it by the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's talk about Thanos first because he didn't really have that big of a part, right? He only showed up in the beginning and in the end, and like
It's kind of like a two different Thanos at this moment, right?
Yes.
The one that already won the battle,
Yes.
and the one that's trying to claim the victory, right?
Mm-hmm.
The promised victory, or so to say.
He's claiming his destiny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good word.
Right. So we'll say present Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a farmer guy.
Yep, he's completely retired.
Yeah.
He won his victory. He gained his happy ending.
Yeah. Half his body's charred.
Yeah.
Because he used the stones twice.
Mm-hmm.
He used the stones to destroy the stones.
So I have a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is his body charred because he used the glove twice?
Yes.
Or is it because he's trying to destroy the stone?
It's because he used the stones twice. Because if you notice in
The first one, yeah.
the first Infinity War, when he used it for the first time, the glove was kind of destroyed already.
Yeah.
So I think it's like that burst
Feedback,
of cosmic energy. Kind of, he was able to survive it the first time, but doing it again kind of fucked him up.
Oh.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, though, is that President Thanos with the stones, when he was like fully healthy and stuff, seems to be weaker
Than
than
what
the
he
past.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck goes up with that?
That was me too. Because wow, I really don't know what to say. Because when Thanos came out in the Infinity War, he felt strong and like he was like bashing people left and right and whatever.
Yeah.
And it takes like the whole group to like hold him down, right? That felt amazing because they actually have to gang up on him to the thing. But in this one, like the past Thanos with him in like prime, I guess, with all his armor and his sword, just kicking everybody's ass. There was a moment where he got his hand on the stones, right? And I was like, use it. Destroy everything, just like punch everything, like stop time and do whatever.
Yeah, right.
But he didn't really get the chance, or like maybe they didn't want to show it off that way or whatever, because at that moment I already felt that he's really, really strong. That one without the stone, he felt a bigger threat than when he had the stone. I know that would be a nitpick, but I'm kind of happy that's the way it is.
But why?
Because I don't know. It felt that I appreciate him more because he's that strong without that stone.
But okay, but here's the thing though. You complained about power inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's what it is too, right? I don't know. It's just because I don't think. How do I say this? Because for me, how it feels like in Infinity War, what Thanos trying to do isn't to overpower the enemy, right? It's to do the snap.
Yeah.
That's his goal.
Yeah.
So he's not trying to wipe the floor of anybody. What he's trying to grab is grab all the stone, do the snap, go to retirement home.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to do. So that's why I think what he's fighting is that he's not fighting these people off. He's just fending them off so he could do the snap.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
I
Well,
see.
in this one, he's gonna kill everybody and grab the stone. He's gonna do it in any order.
I see. So Infinity War, he's just like swatting flies
So,
away.
like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I want to do my snap.
But in Endgame, he's actually like
He's like,
clapping the
"Okay,
mosquitoes.
Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Clapping the mosquito. That's the word.
Because they're annoying and then he wants to get rid of them, right?
That's right.
It's sucking his life force away.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we got to see him fight properly this time, so to speak,
Yeah.
with the sword and his armor.
That was some charismatic battle.
I don't know. Every time he did something, you're just like, damn, that was cool.
Yeah, because it's insane. Because so far, the only probably the master of CQC in this whole series that I've watched is Captain America.
Yeah.
And this guy is triple his size and probably fighting at the same prowess, if not better, at CQC than he does. And holy crap, all the stuff he does feels good. Smacking people to the floor, dodging to the left, directing the blow to the side, and just breaking stuff around, or brute force with the blade and just start chipping Captain America's shield. It was just all the violence felt good.
I guess,
Don't you feel the battle felt very, very satisfying?
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who's just supporting, but
no, I'll tell you why I didn't really enjoy it that much, but it's just for my own personal reasons, though. Yeah, but that's more of a nitpick than anything.
yeah. So are we gonna get to that later, or are we just gonna bring it now? While we're in the topic.
I think I'll bring it up later, just because it's like a two-parter kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's our thoughts on Thanos. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to talk about of course the Avengers, and this one they're split up into 3 teams. I guess we can start off with the team in Asgard.
All right.
So they're chasing the Reality Stone, which Rocket and Thor was trying to get.
Yeah.
So Rocket was just doing his own thing, trying to snap Thor out of his funk.
Yeah, Rocket was just trying to do the mission. Like, dude, we do this, we done, we go home.
Yeah.
And Thor the whole time is just pissing his pants the whole time. Yeah.
So this is actually quite interesting character development again for Thor, right? Because in was it Infinity War, he was like, Ragnarok, he was confident.
He was confident, gained power.
Yeah.
Broke down, came back up, and with the Stormbreaker, and then he got
confidence again.
Yeah.
And then now he's fallen.
Gets so far below they've never seen him before.
Yeah. And this time he realizes it's okay to be like that, I guess. Well, that's what his mom said anyways. Like, it's okay to be a failure.
Yeah, it's
okay to fail.
Yeah,
but
okay
he's got to keep trying.
He got back up. That's what.
And he was also still worthy because he was able to pick up Mjolnir.
Yeah. And it really surprised me that it actually took Mjolnir back. I was like, well, I guess you need all possible weapon, but yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
So now my only problem with Thor, his journey in this one is at the end, because in Ragnarok, he was like, okay, I'm gonna be a proper Asgardian. I feel like I'm prepared to be a king now. And then in this one, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing. I still need a soul search. Peace out, man.
Cause I thought that was lousy too. Like just handing out the Valkyrie girl too.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
She's a battler. I don't think she ever acted as a leader. I don't remember her doing leadership stuff. Did she?
I guess, because to be fair, when we traveled to see Thor for the first time, she was there in the community. So I guess she might have been like
the leader of the village the whole time.
Yeah, and we just don't see it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, again, like everything outside of the scene we don't see doesn't happen, right? So to speak, like we don't.
Like I'm willing to hand wave it because they can just do that as an explanation.
Sure. Like for me, like okay, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Well, I mean, when you put it that way, it felt that way. But for me, it kind of felt like if Thor stayed, his journey ends there.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. He'll be an Asgardian king, and that's it. It'll be like Wakanda. He'll never leave. That's his property now. That's his people, and he's not gonna go anywhere.
But hear me out. What if they did it like Old Man Logan style, where they have Thor in the future being the king of Asgard, and then just do his old man story, right? Thor in 5,000 years time.
But then by that moment, everybody is dead. Wait, what do you mean?
Exactly, and that's how he has to deal with being by himself and that time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do I say this? Like, that would be cool, but that's a next phase, right? That's later. Maybe like he'll be like soul searching, whatever, and end up like, you know what? I belong with my people, right? Yeah. They're my subject. Yeah. Like maybe during the whole journey with the Star Guardian or Guardian of Galaxy or whatever. Yeah. Would open up his mind, and then he'll come back and actually be the true king or whatever, and then he'll be the old Thor. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's possibility.
Yeah, but no. Okay, now that you bring it up, I guess that's fair. Like his journey ends there, and Chris Hemsworth did say he wants to continue the story. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wish he was able to just accept some kind of responsibility for his people. You know what I mean? Like still be like a leader. Because
I don't remember ever seeing Thor being a proper king ever.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a nice transition, right? Because from Thor 1, he always wanted to be
He wanted to be a king. And then in the third one too, in Ragnarok, he was kind of, okay, now I am the king. Let's go. And he got bashed to the floor, right? And then now he kind of have like this, because he had a chance, right? After the whole battle with Thanos, and when he just turning all fat and whatnot, he probably had the chance to be a king there. But at that time, his spirit was broken, right? Yeah. So how do I say this? I think he needs to fix himself first. That's why this journey is needed. I don't know if that's like a lousy way to.
No, that's like a mental health kind of thing.
Kind of thing. Like he knows how far he himself know how far below that he's fallen. Yeah. And he's trying to pick himself up and trying to be better by doing this journey. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. And then when he's better, he'll be ready this time for real.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like he's going on vacation with his friends or something.
I mean, the way they interacted at the end felt that way, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about that part here. I mean, he kind of gets over his hump-ish and then goes off to some more journeys in the future. I don't know how else to close it off. But yeah. Okay. Next team. Let's talk about the Soul Stone team.
Soul Stone.
So that is
Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, and then also the War Machine and Nebula doing the Power Stone as well. So they were.
Oh right, they were together on the same.
Yeah, they were together. Yeah.
Same part. All right.
So Nebula had a bit of a character development thing in here, where she had to face her past and she's a completely different person now than she was back then.
Yeah, and it's shown very clearly in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like they show the scene where she killed herself, and it's just like, okay, it's hers moving on.
Yeah, that's how her like I'm not a puppet anymore kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. But I don't know if it's just me, but it felt like the Power Stone went too smoothly. I don't know if that makes sense. Because Rhodey just got it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go like that. Yeah. But then I guess the twist is that
the Nebula.
So Nebula never came back, and then they just came back like later at the exact same time.
Yeah.
that part of playing with the time travel thing
Mhm.
is what I thought really, really intriguing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play the time travel thing very like straightforwardly, right?
Yeah.
They kind of like, even though they don't leave at the same time, they still arrive at the same time, kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I mean, that's how time travel works, supposedly.
Yeah, but I mean, not a lot of people thought of that. Right? Oh yeah, she didn't get to leave at the same time. Oh, she's gonna appear later and suspicious. Not necessarily. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just say whoever had to write this, I feel bad for.
Why?
Because they had to think of the rules of the time travel. Not only that, but try to keep it consistent throughout the whole movie.
It could be fun.
It's fun, but it's also like, okay, we have to check, like, does this make sense? Do we follow our own rules? You know, this and that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Depends on how you write a story. Sometimes the story goes like a ladder, one by one by one. But some people already have the whole, okay, this is how I want it to be. We just put the pieces together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like probably like the whole, even if you don't leave at the same time and arrive at the same time, it's something that they wanted to do the whole thing, and they just put it as part of the journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's cool.
Okay. Okay. Soul Stone, Natasha and Hawkeye.
Yes.
The fact that they are
Trying to kill each other like themselves.
Yeah,
Before
like-
the other one.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
And they're willing to sacrifice.
Because that's the thing. Like
themselves.
it shows that they love each other a lot.
Yeah,
They
it does.
respect one another and they truly care for one another. And
Yeah.
that's like probably one of the best male female
Yeah.
friendship that I've seen in movies.
Yeah.
Like just pure platonic like friendship, right? It was like holy crap. Like Hawkeye went really far to get his family back, even like, you know, killing criminals just because, almost like a
Like a revenge. kind
yeah,
of
like a
thing.
revenge, even though it's like completely unrelated.
Yeah. I like their
I
interaction.
do. And then the thing is like even though he went that far, he's still like, you know what? I'm not gonna let you die. I want my family back, but doesn't have to have me there, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
like I'm willing to kill myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's cool.
Wow. See, I was gonna actually point this out. Like from the beginning, from Avengers 1 or
Yeah.
whatever. You're just like, Hawkeye. He's
Oh yeah, it
he's
is
the arrow
'Cause
guy.
Here's the thing, not even Avenger 1, because he appeared first in the Thor one, right?
But he didn't do anything. He kind of just
He sniped like once or twice.
yeah, but he was kind of just
And
like
I was
an
like,
Easter
huh?
egg. He was an Easter egg. in
Yeah,
that
and I was like,
movie.
huh?
Mhm.
The hell is that? It's like, oh, that's Hawkeye. Hawkeye, who's that?
Yeah.
And then when Avenger 1 showed up, right?
Yeah.
When he was fighting, I thought that was his battle was actually one of the most practical one,
Yeah.
because he make each arrow count,
Mm-hmm.
and all his shot pretty much landed or does something to a greater effect. And I
Yeah.
thought his fighting style was cool, but as a character, he was just that, right? Just a dude who shoots arrow. There's no character development because he doesn't have his own movie, right?
No.
His character was never explained. What he does is just shooting arrow. We don't even know what other stuff he can have. But the thing is, like, his story got explained as a background, like as in like a side of every other thing that happens, right? Turns out he has a family and he's willing to do all this stuff, and then he's la-da-dee-la-da-do. And now at this peak of his moment kind of thing, you've seen him and all of his character, right?
Yeah.
Of course, by that moment, you're already like, okay, shit, this character's awesome, you know?
This is why I have. Yeah. This is why I love Hawkeye. This is why I have the figurine of Hawkeye over there.
Right.
I just love that character design
Yeah.
of him in the ninja garb.
I know, with the Ronin look. Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, holy crap, that's cool. Too.
And that's also why I like Marvel doing the TV shows, because it expands on the characters that we didn't get to see much of.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really watched it, but just by seeing that and hearing that makes me like, oh, I see.
Yeah, and we get to see more of these characters that we
And-
like.
And Loki, I'm excited to watch Loki.
Yeah, you love Loki, and we get to
Yeah.
see more of
Even
him.
more of them. So.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Oh, the 3 stones in New York. So we got
So
the
that's-
Time Stone, Tesseract, and the Mind Stone.
Right.
So we got some funny bits there,
Yeah.
with the Hulk going down the stairs and
Yeah.
kicking Tony in the face, and then Loki
That messed up and
escaping.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got Captain America fighting each other.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
I actually like that,
That
too.
was really cool.
Yeah. Oh, also Captain America saying "Hail Hydra."
Yeah, that was a good. Because I think it was around that moment, wasn't it? Like when the comic book was like,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, not that time where.
because I don't read the comic or whatever. It's just like
But
on,
even
on the
you
site
heard of it,
somewhere, I
yeah.
heard that Captain America going Hell Hydra, and people were like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, it was a big what
And I was like,
the heck
"What?
moment.
Well, I guess. I mean, what happened?
Yeah.
And then they do it in this, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be like a reference to that.
Yeah.
But not only that, but like
it worked out well in the story.
It worked out well in the story, and
Yeah.
they're able to make a callback to Winter Soldier. Remember when everyone was in the elevator,
Yeah.
and the Captain America was
beating
like
everybody up. Yeah.
So he got away without having to punch
That's
anybody.
punch everybody doing that.
Yeah.
And that's the power of hindsight, I guess.
Actually, and then now,
Yeah.
now that I say that, it made me remember like how that was one of the things you liked in Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Because Natasha didn't always punch her way out of
Exactly.
everything. So the fact that he did
They
that,
did that. That's exactly. It's not just, well, I don't just beat people up. Like, that's a thing, right? Yeah.
I think it's because he's matured more. It's been 5 years.
Well, true. That is true, yeah. Because you've learned a lot of stuff, right? Especially like when you work with Natasha and see how she does stuff too, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like, well, if I could just trick everybody into doing this, why not?
He's very
And he
smart.
told that very well, yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the time stone with Hulk and the Ancient One.
Yeah.
Right. So the Ancient One was explaining the
Timeline thing.
the timeline thing and the stones. And I was telling Boscha this.
Yeah, how each stone matter very much to keeping like the timeline straight and whatever, right?
Yeah.
With one disappearing, that means there's a branch that was, that means that lose one stone, whatever.
Yeah. They're
And Thanos destroyed them all.
Yeah, right? So you need the stones to protect your reality or dimension, whatever it's called.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I don't think the stone is necessarily needed anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. At least the take of me watching this far is that the stones are there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it was there when the creation of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the creation of everything, those stones was created, but not necessarily mean as in like they govern that thing, like as in like if time destroyed and then the time just get messed up, right? As in like they did their part and then now they just hidden in places kind of thing. So what I'm thinking is that if at that time, for example, like there's a 6 stone, was it? With all 6 stone, and during the main timeline, one is destroyed in an alternate timeline, that'll make a branch kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the part that Thanos breaks at the end is part of the main timeline, right? So that means as in it breaks not because of a disturbance from other timeline, but as in like it's an event that happens in the main timeline. Does no branches is happening?
So
Maybe?
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when these stones get destroyed,
Mhm.
there's no defense from
Right, the forces.
from like outside threats. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So without these stones, some other multi-dimensional being can come
Right.
in and just wreak havoc on these
Well,
guys.
did you think that they also get snap? I don't know.
Right? We don't know how the
Yeah.
snap works either.
Yeah.
For all we know, Tony Stark was just like, I snap all of Thanos' army.
Yeah, was it just the Thanos or?
Yeah, exactly. Like he didn't say wipe off all evil.
Well, that would kill everybody, I think.
It would. It would. It really would. Kill anyone who's murdered anyone. Zoom.
He also disappeared.
Wait, Bosch, come back.
I turned to ash right away.
I don't feel so good, Alex.
Nah, I wouldn't say it to you though. I would just sit down, smiling like Thanos did at the end. Solemn look.
I'm like, hey, Bosch, you want some drink? And you're like, yes.
Just disappear.
For me, okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When they're doing the time heist in New York,
Mhm.
here's what I thought was gonna happen.
Mhm.
That one team was gonna go to Loki while he still had the scepter,
Right?
beat him up, take it away from him. Then the past Hulk
Yeah.
comes by and roars at him, and he's like, "Stop it, you lowly being! I'm a god. How can you do this to me?" And he just does the ragdoll thing. I thought that would be a cool thing to do.
That would be funny. But yeah. Oh no, I think that's too much. I think just by having Hulk kicking the door and hitting Tony in the face was already like, hand clap moment. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Again, really, Hulk?
I personally would have liked to see more time heist stuff.
Yeah.
Just because I like
'Cause it's
clowny.
cool.
I like
Yeah.
clowny stuff.
Yeah, because it's fun. Like no matter how serious it goes, it's still because they're kind of like covered too, right? So they have to be like sneaking and try to be covered, especially like what happened with Iron Man and Captain America too, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be in so that kind of introduces finding stuff because they can't just go around beating people, right? So yeah.
And the Tesseract.
Mhm.
So that as we mentioned, they failed to get the Tesseract.
Yeah,
But they also had another chance to get it back
that's right.
using Captain America and Iron Man.
Mhm.
And
So hold up. I have a question about that though, because Tony just went Eureka, right?
yes,
So was that? How did he get the information? Did he know that beforehand?
I think so.
Or is it just something that he,
That's assumed.
no, it's kind of like,
Guess hypotheticals.
no, it's like an information he get from past, if that makes sense. or the future? Like
I think
the future
he knew,
him. So.
I think he knew because he knew his dad was working with Shield, and he knew that at that time they had the Tesseract. So
what about the Pym
the
particle?
Pym particles? I think he also like after seeing Ant-Man, he probably did research on him, right? Because he's an Iron Man.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I see. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Because for me, that moment, he kind of like just like, hold up. Like, I think I just had information out of nowhere. I don't know. I thought there was like a vision of,
like
a
his
deja vu kind of thing,
yeah.
you know?
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I think that's the downside, the pros and cons of Tony Stark. Remember, like in Civil War, where the mom was just like, "You killed my son. This is his name."
Yeah.
And that kind of just piqued his interest, and he'd start doing research on that guy. He found out everything about him.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what.
Kind of like his character.
Yeah. So even though he called like Ant-Man pissant and like making fun
he
of
knows
him,
who he is.
yeah,
and
exactly.
What he does.
He actually researched it. Yeah.
I see.
So, anyways, Captain America going back in the past and finding out that Peggy still cared about him.
I thought that was like borderline creepy when he was just standing on the blind and staring at her.
Well, he can't say anything. He can't knock on the window like, "Hey, I'm still here."
Yeah, but that would be like, oh, what the hell? What the heck? You know?
He can't mess with timeline like that. You know.
He did.
He's not supposed to. That's what I mean. Like in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So he finds out that Peggy is still in love with him. Not only that, but she had the picture of Skinny Steve.
Skinny Steve on her desk too.
Yeah. Which I thought was pretty charming.
Yeah. She's
truly someone that likes him for who
regardless,
he is. And how come we can't find a girl like that?
You can't.
I mean, I'm talking to one right now.
Oh, I'm not looking for what? People will like, wait, Boscha's a girl? No, not this deep voice. No, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know.
Yeah. however you want to look at it. And then I thought Iron Man had a really nice moment with his dad. He got closure. He was able to say what he wanted to say to his dad.
Yeah, and I think that moment they kind of relate with one another, right?
Yeah.
Like father to a father.
Yeah, that's
small and moment. I thought that was really great. That was really touching moment. Yeah, no, I just enjoyed it. Because I really like the family moment, right? Like Thor with his mother.
Mom. Yeah.
And then like, of course, Tony Stark with his dad.
Yeah.
Because like at first, Tony was just like, "Oh shit, I just gotta get out of here," right? And then as they talk, they kind of got drawn into it, and they bonded like almost instantly, and they start talking about their personal life to each other, and just like they keep going, and they wanted. I thought that was like, wow, that's amazing. That's just great.
Yeah, right. It was a nice moment. I feel.
Yeah, it feels like it's exactly what you said. It's a closure.
Yeah, I feel like in this movie, for whatever reason, I really like the character interactions with each other.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and it just felt more... maybe because we watch all these movies and we see these characters grow, but it just feels more like intimate.
Yeah.
Personal.
I can say that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. So, overall, this movie was a blast.
Yeah.
It didn't... It felt... how can I say? It felt long, but it didn't feel like 3 hours.
Really? I didn't feel like it's 3 hours. I look at the clock. I was like, holy crap, it's like 2.5 hours already.
You know what it is? What? It's because by the end of it, I really needed to pee.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
That's why.
It felt longer. I was
just sitting down and drinking Coke. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm surprised. You weren't even like sleeping or you're like glued to the TV screen. Meanwhile, I was
even though right now it's like my sleeping hour.
Yeah, right? And then me, I was just like floating in space. I was like, oh.
You are dying.
Yeah.
I was like, Alex is like barely here and there. I'm like, Alex, wake up.
But fortunately for me, I already watched this movie like multiple times. So I kind of know-ish already.
Yeah. For me, I'm really looking forward to it again.
Oh, really?
Because I erased my mind and people are like hyping it up. And remember, it was a grand movie that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Now I know.
So you prepared yourself for this moment.
Kind of.
So I was going to say, like, is this one of the few movies that you would actually rewatch again?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's probably like, well, I wouldn't say there's probably like several. I would like there's a lot of parts in this movie, just bits that I just really enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna watch. The thing is like this thing's 3 hour, dude.
It is. You it's not something you would watch like every day or anything.
Exactly.
But it's like like hey, got a bunch of friends over, let's bust this thing out.
Yeah. I'm like that's an eighth of a day.
Sometimes
I don't know. I'm not very good at math.
Well. When you have 7/8 sleeping,
Yeah, that'd be a good day.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we thought of Endgame and what we are going to think about the future of MCU.
Yep.
Yeah, now let's get to our nitpicks of this movie.
Go on.
Ish. I say ish.
Yeah.
So we already mentioned the stones trying to keep protectors of the reality, and then Thanos said,
Just-
"Okay, just delete."
Yeah.
And then I don't get why they had that bit in there. Why have the Ancient One explain that without the stones, our reality is gonna get fucked up, and then have Thanos just delete them
Because I think that's a setup.
for?
It's building up for the next big villain.
Oh, you're right.
Because that's what it is, right? Because she specifically said that without the stone, there's nothing to protect us from outside, like other like multidimensional forces, right?
Yeah,
I guess that's what's coming next, right?
yeah.
And I think that's the reason why Thanos destroyed the stone too, right? So they can't undo what he does. That's the main goal, and like let nature take care from here on out, kind of thing.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Actually, it's another way of Marvel setting up for the future.
Yeah,
But
and they do it very subtly too.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing about the stones, is that they actually cannot be destroyed.
Even with their own kind of thing.
Yeah, because they're part of the universe.
All right.
So based on the comics, anyways.
Yeah.
So in the comics, they actually, even if you destroy them, they come back.
Oh.
So you can't really completely get rid of them. So you might disperse them or whatever.
And it'll just gather back together somewhere.
Exactly. They'll become like giant rocks somewhere on another planet.
Wait,
like,
giant rocks, not just the small stones anymore?
No, they become like giant thing. You have to like harvest them or something. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
But anyways, it's like the Dragon Balls.
I see. They just split. Okay. All right.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's that. Nebula and Stark interacted once in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, in the beginning they were pretty close. That's Stark's way of like killing times or whatever,
Yeah.
or like trying to fill the human interaction that they need.
Yeah. And then they just never interacted ever again.
Because I don't know, because I kind of hope that there's a quick interaction between Tony Stark and Nebula, and Tony's like, "Wait, who are you?" Kind of like that, right? But then I was thinking of that, but then I realized that Nebula would know what he's talking about simply because she saw all the memories, right?
Yeah.
So that won't work. So I was like, I don't know how to play it around because we still need Nebula as the traitor, right?
Yeah. I guess there's just too much shit going on. They forgot about it or something.
That or it just doesn't matter too much.
I guess. I don't know. It would have been nice to just have Nebula be more sad about Tony's death, maybe.
But I don't know. But I'm kind of, I don't know. Because the thing is, like, at the end, it still shows that Nebula was there, right?
Yeah.
Even though Gamora left.
Yeah.
Even though they were friend and sister. Like, they established that relationship, like, together, right?
Yeah.
Even when Gamora left, Nebula stayed to pay respect to Tony Stark. I think that's quite a lot. Especially how what do you call it? Like, I don't want to say uncanny. How weird she is as a character, right?
Yes. Okay. Fair. What else? Okay. Black Widow and Hulk. They're kind of hinting that there's a romantic relationship, and
one moment,
there's
yeah.
nothing. And there's nothing. Nothing happened. And they even had a scene where Hulk was like pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, where is she?
Like,
and he throws a bench in the lake or something.
Yeah,
and,
he was like angry, but like it was
and he got
Banner angry, not Hulk angry.
Yeah. And he got over it pretty quickly, actually.
Well, I guess there's a bigger threat at the moment, but I don't know. It's for me, it just felt like there was no, because I guess Hulk's story is still gonna go on, but the way I see it is like I don't think there's a closure to that, and I don't think if they move it later and later, I don't think there's any. It's gonna it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I just wish.
Like what though? What would you wish to happen? Like the meme.
You know what would have been?
Hulk.
It would have been cool if Hulk.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
That's
Should I make it so that Hulk and Hawkeye and Black Widow were on the Vormir doing the Soul Stone?
Oh no, that's a bad idea.
Right?
Because I don't know how that's gonna happen because Hulk clearly overpowered both of them,
Right.
and I don't think he'll die jumping off a cliff.
No, but we can have like a triangle where.
And then what? No death will happen.
That's not necessarily true. You can still outwit Hulk because he's not Hulk. He's still like
Hulk Banner.
Hulk
so
Banner.
he's smart and strong.
But he's not as strong as he used to be.
He doesn't need to stop these two people who doesn't have any special power. Excuse you. Who fight with the weapons and whatever.
But there's still explosion arrows, shock arrows, taser bolts.
How badly does that shock Hulk? Let's go with that. They're still human with gadgets.
It shocks him enough based on who's writing that scene.
That's right. But what I'm saying is that even let's just say he was shocked for like split 2 seconds and they jump off a cliff, right? I'm pretty sure Hulk can outjump him. Like they would catch him midair and then prevent the death. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't think so I'm kind of glad that Hulk didn't go with them to Vormir because that would have been weird.
I don't know. It would have been nice to have a Black Widow Hulk scene together instead of just making it like kind of awkward wink. You know, it feels like Joss Whedon, the guy who did Avengers 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He tried to make something happen,
Yeah.
and then the new directors, the Russo brothers.
Oh, is it different?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the Russo brothers directed Winter Soldiers.
Yeah.
And then Civil War and then
Right.
Avengers, right?
Kind of like, you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, we don't like that, so
We kind of don't like that, but it's kind of established. But we're not just gonna like so we're gonna give like the angry scene. Okay, at least he's pissed off.
yeah,
So there was an emotional attachment to a certain point,
yeah.
but they didn't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, we know it happened. That's it.
Yeah.
That sucks. I don't know. They could have done a little bit something better.
I wish there was more finish, like a conclusion to whatever it is, be it they'll just end up just professionally or whatever, like at least a wording here or there, or like a hint of something.
Yeah. Or just have them to be together. During that 5 years, just have them to be together because Hulk managed to merge his personalities, anyways.
True,
But it doesn't really
don't you think
change. It doesn't change anything.
but won't her death affect him way much more though?
Exactly.
And when it does, won't he?
Exactly. And becomes more rage.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
And then establish the next story arc. Like that
possible.
Hulk, that him merging his personalities didn't actually work. And it's still a struggle to see who's in control.
Kind of. And there's another personality you even said that might even blossomed out too, right?
Exactly. Because in the comics, there is more than just two Hulks.
That's what I see.
I mean,
I didn't know. Yeah.
There's more than just Hulk and Banner.
Banner, yeah.
There's more of him in there.
Oh.
See, so that could have been a
Could
good
be a thing,
it
yeah.
could have been.
But then I don't know, it just felt like if you do that and if he's that affected and he get more fury and whatever, right? Won't the power balance be kind of weird at the end of the battle thing? Because the thing is, like, I think they purposely put Hulk out of because Hulk wasn't fighting in the final war, right?
He was.
Was
he just had like a bunk arm. So he can't really have full power.
Right.
Which is also the other thing. You know how he lost to Thanos in Infinity War?
Yeah.
And then he mentioned it that he lost twice and that everyone was so hyped to
That
see
he's gonna do
Hulk and
bashing
Thanos
didn't
rematch.
happen.
The rematch that never happened
Yeah.
and no one apparently give a shit about.
Yeah.
All the fans were expecting it. All the fans was like, yeah, Hulk rematch.
Yeah.
There was no rematch.
Because honestly,
We didn't even get to see him fight in the final battle.
because he's that injured, I think.
We see him like prepping to fight.
If
but
there's
we don't
anything, I'm more concerned about I think Hulk regenerates, right? He has
he's
a
supposed to,
regeneration?
yeah. But I guess because he's part.
Was the stone that strong enough that leave big enough damage that he couldn't heal in time?
I guess so. I think it's because the thing is like if he's like Super Hulk, like Hulk,
Yeah.
he'd be able to recover from that.
Yeah. Really
But I think it's because he's merged.
it's kind of like half-ish, half-assed.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like the power stunted,
Right.
so to speak.
So it's not full capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
What else? Scott's daughter. I don't think we mentioned her yet.
Oh, right.
So there's a little bit of controversy surrounding that. So so we meet Scott's daughter 5 years later when Scott returns back from the quantum realm.
Right.
And the scene with his daughter is, of course, heartbreaking and bittersweet-ish.
Yeah.
Like we get to see her safe.
Yeah.
But it's also sad because he lost 5 years with her,
Yeah.
and she's all grown up now. She's a teenager,
Yeah. Because especially how close they were in the other movie, right?
right? And that scene was pretty good, I would
Yeah,
say, right?
I'd say, yeah.
For what
For a
she
split
had
second.
to, yeah, for that 30 seconds, she was great.
Not even 30 seconds. I think she only got not even 10 seconds there.
Yeah, something like that. She was like, "Dad," and that was it. That was
Yeah.
that was her one line. Okay, so here's the thing, though. It was announced that in the Ant-Man sequel, Ant-Man 3, she is gonna be played by another actress.
Okay.
So that's cool, I guess. Like, people get recasted all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But this actress in the Endgame was saying that Marvel never told her
Yeah.
that she was gonna get recasted. She
Oh.
found out on like the same time as everyone else.
Yeah.
So now people online are saying, well, that's not fair, Marvel. Come on, you're supposed to build up stars and this and that, but whatever.
Yeah. But that's their thing, right?
Yeah.
Their casting stars does not
Not super big name.
budding stars, and then
But here's the thing. People are saying like, oh, that scene with her and Scott was so beautiful, was so perfectly executed. Sure. But again, it was
a split
10
second
seconds.
thing.
Yeah. But not only that, these actors are more like they're contract workers. They're signing a contract and saying, okay, we're going to be in this X amount of movies or whatever.
Right.
I don't know what her contract was for this movie. I mean, if it was done, Marvel is obligated to contact her again.
Exactly.
Like, hey,
yeah. If it's by contract, then by legal, they have to, right?
Right.
If they could just do that, that means whatever it is, that was it, right?
Yeah, exactly, right.
And honestly, again, I don't really know, or I'm not. Yeah.
You're not super attached.
I'm not super attached. Well, like I like to her as an actress or whatever, because I like the character, the Scott's daughter, right? Because we know the interaction, how close they are together, and how they bond, and how much Scott's care about the daughter. Exactly. So when she grew up, I was confused. I'm like, oh wait, what the heck? So I was surprised about that. But when I heard this, I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, whoever could fill the role better should do that, shouldn't they? That's what I was thinking.
Kind of. If anything, I was more upset that we're not going to see the small one back.
Right.
Because I like her interaction with Scott.
Exactly. Like a little, well, I wouldn't say toddler, but like a little kid being super excited, hanging out with his dad is great.
Yeah.
Just like Tony Stark.
Just like Tony Stark and his daughter.
That was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that interaction. They know that their father's a superhero and they like inspire to be like that. Yeah. And they want to be their partner or whatever. Yeah. Okay. What else? Oh, another controversial thing: the female team up at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Or not at the end, like at the final battle.
Right. They're just like this extra scene where they're just like all the female doing
right.
kick-ass action moment. Right?
Yeah. So Spider-Man was just like had the Infinity Gauntlet. And he's like, okay, here, Captain Marvel, but how are you gonna get through all those guys? And then all the females showed up.
Why not just everybody doing whatever?
Okay, so here's what I think.
Yeah.
Originally, I thought the same thing as everyone else. Yeah, it's pandering. Yeah, it's whatever. It's for the female audience, like feminine, female power. But then hearing what other females had to say about it themselves, which they didn't think anything of it. The only people that had a problem with it is guys. Yeah. And then I was thinking, like, you know what? I find that this scene was actually necessary.
How so?
Because when are we gonna ever see this thing happen again? A group of female superheroes teaming up to do their own thing.
Anytime, I guess, because like right now their arc is over, right?
Yeah, but we don't have a female superhero team.
Because they were never a team to begin with, right? They're from different.
Same with the Avengers, but they just mashed them together.
Yeah, but for me, like personally, like I don't think it necessarily have to be like a female only team, right? It could just be everybody. Like imagine. I think I would enjoy it a lot more if let's just say the Valkyrie girl was like teaming up with Hulk doing something at the same moment in that scene, right? Like.
No, I get what you're saying, but for me, I think it's necessary to have a female team just because you want to inspire the next generation of people, if that makes sense. Like you want equality. We've seen enough of these male teams, right? I know you want to see a mix, and you want. That's how you see it.
For me, I mean, I don't know because like.
But for me, it's more about giving opportunities to people that never had it to begin with. Just like how we were talking about in Doctor Strange, where they casted a white person to be in an Asian character's role. Why not? This is the same as like, hey, these females aren't giving the same opportunities that the male characters.
Right. The thing is, like, for me, at least my thought on that is that I'm not. My thought in this is that I don't really know how the market, I guess. Yeah. How the people, like how many like female character got like main part in the movie, like main actor or like main actress part and like doing like big movie. I don't know what it is, or I don't know how the whole thing goes. Yeah. But like if it talks of equality, I don't know, because I don't think the whole movie was made simply to show off the dudes. I don't know if that makes sense.
It kind of is.
I mean, I don't know. From the way I look at it, it's the dudes because the original story is the dude. If they want to make like a female,
exactly. Hero, if they want to make a female team, they should, but they're not going to.
I'm not talking about like female team. Like for example, like what I'm saying is that not female team, like a female superhero. If they want to make them that and do like a group of they join the whole team and they have their own thing. Cool.
Yeah, but now because of that scene, it's established that they know each other and they fought together before. So now it makes sense that if
they have their own thing.
Yeah, if they have their own female team, now it makes sense.
Like outside Avenger kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Because now it makes sense because they interact with each other already in that part, right? Because think of it this way: and throughout the MCU, how many female lead hero movies are there? And there's literally only two: Captain Marvel and Black Widow. And that came.
I never even watched Black Widow either. So
Exactly. And those ones came
after.
10 years later, 10 years after the first Iron Man.
Because my main question would be this: like, how many female heroes are there in Marvel Universe to begin with?
Yeah, well, there's Wasp, there's Valkyrie. These characters are slowly being introduced.
What I'm trying to say is that, as in like their own thing, not like the Wasp is part of an Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you split it, Ant-Man is still the main character.
Yeah.
Right. So no, I'm talking about like a standalone, like Captain Marvel, like Black Widow. Okay, like they're two main characters of their own story, right?
Yeah.
How many of there are around is what I'm trying to ask.
That's the other thing, is that in the comic book industry, it's obviously male dominant.
Right?
Right?
Because especially they're written like way back, right?
Exactly.
Well, male
So
dominant.
it could have been like the guys only feel comfortable writing the guys, or they're inspired to write the guy's character, or
in a sense, because like it's easier to idolize the perfect being, as in like your perfect self, right?
exactly. Or it could be, or
I guess most of the writer are like males, right? So
Yes,
more males, they have like male fantasies. One like, oh yeah, I want like cool suit of armor that could fly, that shoot laser beam, whatever. So yeah, it's probably easier for them to do that. So
exactly. And also, it's also part sexist. It's just part of the industry. It's just it is what it is.
Yes, I agree, because especially like way back then too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like the symbol of power was always muscular, strong built men, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, even if you look at the first Avengers poster, you'll see everyone's in a cool pose except for Black Widow. She's like bent over with her ass out. She's the only one in that pose. Everyone else is like in the cool Hulk, you know.
In a cool pose.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the poster, but
yeah. And there's even a parody of the Avengers poster with just Hawkeye doing the same pose.
yeah, because I mean, it's been like that since the age of Memorial.
Exactly.
Right?
So now,
male symbol of power and female symbol of sex, right?
Yeah, exactly. So now we're starting to transition into being more equal in that, and giving them more opportunities to show that they're just boobs and ass. They're more than that. They're characters with their own
that's
stories.
The thing. Like that's what I've been wanting the whole time too, right? Like for Black Widow, like I want her to do more, right?
Yeah, exactly.
More. But it hasn't been able to be flashed out, right?
Yeah, I think it's mostly because, like, as I said, like the sexism, the old school mentality, where it's just like, oh, you know, these female characters, there's nothing interesting about them.
I don't know about that specifically, but I can tell that, for example, like the female character are also male fantasized. You know what I'm saying? They have to be like, you know, a really hot chick with this super, you know, like super beautiful assets all over the place, and they have to do like all this kind of battle in a way that male understand, if you understand, because female, at least way back then, has been pictured as like, you know, not a symbol of power, right? They're always, how do I say this? Like, the good way to say it is probably they're more elegant, they're more quaint, they're more methodical, if that's a way.
Yeah.
For their way to win the fight, it's not they punch the dude to the next universe, but to grab a knife and slice them in the back, or try to outwit them, not with power, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of hard to express, especially in a way that, like right now, right? Like right now, you're fighting Thanos and Black Widow. What Black Widow gonna do?
Yeah.
Shoot some gadget. Yeah, sure. But there's chances for probably she's gonna split in half if you get slashed, right?
Right. So this is why, like, the scene with Captain Marvel and Thanos made sense.
Yeah.
Like, she had the power.
She had the power to push back, and then she clearly overpowers him too. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And
well, he had to use the
power stone to actually overpower her back, and that's also cool.
Right? Yeah. So like scenes like that, you know, where they're given opportunity to show off that they're more than just being the eye candy, so to speak. Right?
Eye candy is a good word.
Right. So it's funny how my mentality changed from that. It went from like, I guess, to like, okay, this is actually necessary, because we're never gonna see something like this for a long time. Because right now, from what
now everybody's split, right?
Yeah, they're split. Not only that, but from what I can see from the timeline in the next few phases,
there's no female heroes.
There's no team up movie.
Everybody's gonna like do their own thing.
Yeah, not only that, but the next team up movie is probably gonna be an Avenger movie, where it's just gonna be everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't want to say the problem. I guess it is the problem. The bigger problem there is that there's just not enough female heroes.
I think so. Yeah.
We need more of them, right?
I think Marvel in that regard needs to take a risk.
Well, the thing is, like, don't make it for the sake of making them. Making them.
No, for sure.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, don't make it just because. Make it because they have a certain ability. They have something interesting. You know, like any of the other heroes.
Yeah. No, I'm saying do what they're doing now,
Yeah.
but just sprinkle in more female characters in
No,
there.
no, not just sprinkle. They can't. They have to make the focus. Like they need more focus.
Right, but like I don't know what other female. See, that's the other thing. I
Yeah.
don't know what other
Yeah, I
female
don't know
characters it is there
Because they have to make one, right? Because so far, like I don't know how many in Marvel Universe, how many heroes are there? How like up to this movie, up to this end game, how many more are there? Are there more that unintroduced?
yes, way more.
Way more than what already been introduced.
Yeah, there's like even characters that they have in the vault
Mhm.
that haven't even been brought out yet.
Ah,
There's like you know how like when Marvel makes a game or something
Mhm.
and someone's like or making a TV show, cartoon show based off the Marvel characters,
right.
they have to ask for permission to use some characters. Marvel's just like, okay, you can have these characters, and then if you're like, can we use this guy?
Yeah.
They're like, no, and you're like, oh, maybe they're using it for something else.
Right.
Like that's just speculation. But they grab those characters from like a giant
Pool.
vault, yeah, from a
yeah.
giant pool of characters, and there's like thousands of characters that haven't even touched yet.
So, but they have an established character already.
Yeah. So it's just like Suicide Squad. You know when we watched Suicide Squad?
Right.
All the characters that we saw,
Yeah.
those are comic book characters. They appeared in the comic book once or twice.
So they had kind of like their own thing for.
Right. And even though they're minor characters that only had like a short appearance or whatever, the guy, James Gunn, he was able to flesh out
Those characters and-
right?
yeah.
So I'm sure Marvel can do the same way. It's just that they don't want to take the risk because why?
Nameless.
Yeah, why
do the nameless
throw
one?
money at a nameless character when you have Spider-Man making $1 billion? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's the true, but that's the thing, right?
Yeah. It's just
At a certain point, they can't keep going where they're going, right?
exactly. Yeah, they have to take the risk,
Yeah.
and I hope they do it sooner rather than later.
I just hope they make the right decision, whatever that entertains me.
Right.
At the end of the day, I just want to be entertained. I don't care about the whole.
Yeah. So I really do feel like that scene was necessary.
I see.
Yeah. Given the political climate as well.
Because again, for me, like political things, like those feminism, those male power, female, I don't know,
Yeah.
and honestly care. I'm very ignorant about it.
But you have to care about it because when we were watching these movies,
Because that's the thing, like when until you mention it, that when are they gonna team up again, whatever. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess because now they split up, right? They do their own thing. I guess that gives it a good reason why they do that. But it was how do I say this? Like the way it was portrayed, it's very how do I say this? It's like specialized.
yeah,
Like it was like how do I say this? That's like a clear tone change when that scene is brought out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that made me feel like, huh?
yeah.
Like they really how do I say this? They try to make it really stand out.
Yeah, it's weird for sure,
Yeah.
but it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me now more so than it did before. Yeah.
Right?
What else? Oh, the thing that we kind of glossed over, but we should have mentioned earlier, is the Hulk's character development
Right?
happened off screen.
Yeah.
So how, what in Infinity War, he's like, "Oh man, Hulk, we gotta work our shit out,"
Yeah.
and then the next thing you know, he's like
Right.
Professor Hulk already,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What the fuck?" Even Scott, I know they made fun of it, but it's
Yeah.
like, "Hey Scott, what the heck happened?" He's like, "Yeah, I just put the brawn and the brains together." But it's just like, come on, dude, Hulk deserves better than that.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? Hulk has been under the bridge for the whole.
Yeah, I've been saying even with his first solo movie, I've been telling you like Hulk. There's more to Hulk than people
But
realize.
the way it's been treated, he's been treated as that, right?
Yeah, he's been treated as like a piece of shit.
Yeah, and people only know Hulk as the
Piece of shit.
just an angry little boy destroying, maybe not little, throwing tantrum, right? And I guess they're trying to figure out how to break down the character, I guess.
Yeah.
But making another movie of him, they'll probably be like, well, what's the next threat, right?
I guess.
And then the way, because they have to now they have to introduce I don't want to say a method, but kind of like another concept, which is a Banner himself, right? About him and Hulk. This kind of been like explained or like brought light upon on the last movie, right? On Infinity War,
Yes.
where clearly Hulk was just like, no, I don't want to fight, like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Banner's like, yo, dude, what the heck? Like, come on. So now at that one, it's just clear as a day that now there's this two person in one body. There are two different thoughts.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they could portray it better of the mixing.
To have him talk to Hulk internally somehow. You know how like when Thanos went inside the Soul Stone and talking to baby Gamora or kid Gamora or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, what did it cost?" Right? And he's like, "Everything." They could have had a scene like that with Banner talking to Hulk, right? Just like how remember when the Ancient One pushed Banner's soul out of Hulk, you thought Hulk was gonna get back out.
I thought he would.
Like they could have had a scene like that too.
Yeah.
But in terms of like if they do that, what's gonna be the threat for Hulk?
Yeah.
I feel like the threat for Hulk which should be not external.
Yeah. Internal.
Internal, yeah. Because we've seen all these physical fights and stuff.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see like the hulking brute that only solves problems through physical powers has eternal struggles. And
again, this might be like I thought that was a good idea, but how interesting it is to watch.
this is why I think they should do it in a TV show and not just a movie.
See, if it's like a TV show, it's not an immediate threat that they have to destroy right away, right? It has time to flash out the character, give them background, give them thought. There's more monologue. There's more screen time, right?
Yeah.
There's time to develop the character. So yeah, I guess TV show is the best way. But if they're gonna do it, they gotta do it, like past tense thing, right?
Yeah.
How it.
Or like here's how I do it. Like in Endgame, have like a scene or two where Hulk is trying to work out things with Banner and they make it a deal. And then Natasha dies. He gets super pissed off and he can't control his rage anymore and becomes a rage beast. Then the next thing you see is the Hulk TV show where he's trying to
Calm it down. Yeah.
fight internally. Because now we see that it's not just Hulk and Banner fighting for the dominant personality, but there's other beasts and demons inside.
Yeah, but that would make like a good intro for the movie. But the thing is, like in this movie, Hulk never came out. In Endgame, there's no Hulk.
There's no Hulk. There's no Banner. It's just green guy.
No. There's Banner. There's only Banner.
I don't even consider him to be Banner because he's
in between. That's what you're thinking. Like for me, no. This character, like, well, Hulk. There's Hulk, but that was like back in the past, or when he was just like throwing tantrum, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That was the only Hulk. But what he is right now, for me, it's just full Banner. Just because he has a different body, his mind is Banner. He talks like Banner. He behaves like Banner.
Yeah.
He's just a stronger Banner. That's what it looks like to me. That's why, like, remember when in the end screen, you're like, why is there no Hulk? Why is it Banner?
Yeah.
Because in the movie, there's only Banner.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay,
That's what I'm trying to say.
fair. Okay, makes sense.
Because like if you want him to be like a raging, beast at the death of Natasha, they don't have the time for it. Because during the whole thing, they're trying to grab the glove and, the snap thing, right? And then even at that moment, Thanos is already doing whatever they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're really pressed for time. Like there's no time for Hulk to throw tantrum at that moment.
I see.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
No, the way you explain it makes sense. Yeah. But again,
I wish it could be done better.
Hulk deserves better. I've been saying this
Hulk
since
needs
day
love.
one.
I agree.
He needs more love.
Because he's a lot more interesting than just an angry green thing.
Yes.
But that's the thing, though. That's what he's famous for. He's famous for like, the angrier he becomes, the stronger he becomes.
Yeah.
Even though there's more than just anger to this whole...
But the thing is, like, me seeing how they're treating Hulk doesn't make me want to buy Hulk hats. You know what I mean? Me seeing Hulk get character developments make me go, okay, now I want to buy merch for him.
Hold up. Here's the thing. Think of it this way. Let's just say, okay, Hulk got... Because now that when Hulk has a character development, it's not just Hulk, right? But it's better than whatever else inside him, right?
Yeah.
But imagine this way. So what it is that now Hulk is this unstable time bomb that could turn to Hulk. And right now, Hulk is just Hulk, right? He's just Hulk and punch or whatever. But imagine the angrier he becomes, the more damage he becomes, the stronger he becomes.
Yeah.
The more devastating he does, the more dangerous it is to ally and to the enemies. Imagine it keep going and going and going and going. You could see the insane amount of power level. Would that not attract fans too?
It would.
But that simplify the character, right? It dumbs down the character. It's just like, we just give him power boost as he gets angrier.
Yeah, exactly.
But the destruction he make, the amount of power that he could show will get people. And this is like the line that I'm thinking that they're diverging right now. They don't know if want to get this simple nuclear bomb or this complex character they're trying to mold. But from the looks of Endgame, it seems like they're trying to go with the complex. It's just that it's hard to go through it this far in the game. You see what I'm trying to say?
I mean... Okay, then why even bother setting it up in Infinity War?
Because that's the thing. Like, I got a feeling like after that whole thing, maybe what you're saying, the next TV series is going to come out, it'll be Hulk. And that's where the whole... I don't know. That's only speculation, but...
Can I tell you right now then?
Yes.
The next Hulk-related show is She-Hulk. Not even Hulk, She-Hulk. Which, I love She-Hulk.
I don't know anything about She-Hulk, so...
I think you'll like her just because she's your ideal physical type.
Whoa, whoa. This is going on the internet, buddy.
I mean, we already had it on the internet with your ideal type.
That's right.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, that's not a Hulk story. That's a She-Hulk story. Hulk is a part of it, but we don't get to see it in their working.
Is he part of it? I don't know what the relationship between Hulk and She-Hulk, because then I never seen them portrayed together.
Yeah. Well, they're cousins, and how she gets his power is from him.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't think blood matters because Hulk turned to Hulk way later in life, right?
Yeah. Well, ironically, blood does matter because he gave her blood transfusion.
That's why.
Yeah.
But I thought he knew ahead of time that that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're gonna explain it in this one, because I think in the comics that he had no choice. She was gonna die without the blood, so he had to. But I don't know how they're gonna explain it. Maybe the same thing, like he's the only available donor there, and she is in critical condition because she is a lawyer as well. So I guess that makes her targets for criminals and whatnot.
All right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we're getting a bit off topic. Right. But as I said, Hulk needs more love.
I agree with that, though.
Yes.
Amen to that.
This is gonna be like our longest podcast ever.
Probably.
So hopefully our rambling is...
Well, it is a 3-hour movie. It's a big part of the thing, and it's kind of like the closure of the whole big arc, right? So I think it's deserved. There's a lot of things to talk about, and there's a lot of meat to chew on.
So So I hope our rambling is somewhat entertaining for you guys.
Yeah.
Especially with our new upgrades.
I'm still shaking right now.
Oh yeah. So here's my personal nitpicks. Personal nitpicks. Personally.
Okay.
Only for myself.
What does that mean? Are you saying that I have no right to defend whatever's going on right now? Go on.
You shut up and you listen. Okay, so here's what I think. This is gonna be my hot take. The roles of Iron Man and Captain America in the movie should have been reversed.
What does that mean?
Captain America should have been the one to die, and Iron Man should have been the one to live.
Why?
Because I feel like it would have been better, in my opinion.
How so? Explain it. Elaborate.
Because you see in the beginning, since Iron Man 1, that no matter what he does, he always is working. Like, he never takes anything... he never takes anything from himself. Like, he never gives up anything for his family. Even when he found out about the possibility of time travel, he didn't leave it alone. He right away worked on something. He kept working on it until he found a way to figure it out. So I think it would have been cool if for once Iron Man was just like, as he said in the movie too, like, I have a daughter. I'm not gonna roll the dice on it to give it up. And
like he also said that like, if we could get everything back, that's great. But if we can keep what we have, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then how I would have written him out of the story would have been like him being the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And him
just completely quit being Iron Man.
Yeah, and just like him working in the shadows.
No, I don't think
just like in the Nick Fury.
Maybe, but I don't know. For me, I don't think that'll work in a sense that because exactly it's his personality, right? Whenever anything happens, he jumps into the action right away.
That's why he's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's able to see, okay, something's going on. I just send some help there.
Well, no, for me, knowing him, he won't just do that. He will go to the place himself.
That's why he has remote armor.
Well, then it'll eliminate a lot of the heroes then. And we don't want that. We want more heroes to show, right?
Right, but he did that in Homecoming. Oh, not only that, but he knows the threat of Thanos and stuff. And as he was aware of...
That's the thing, right? Now he could have his own thing. And then I think...
So now he's in the spaceship. He's going to go around saving other planets.
See, for me, that's I don't know. For me, Iron Man existence from here on out will only get in the way. Because he's smart. He's too smart. That's the thing. He's too smart. He's prepared for a lot of things. Now, we know that he's always been haunted by his fear of this existential greater and greater. And with Thanos appearing, what makes you think he's not going to make billions of Iron Man armor automated to protect, And I think that would get in the way of the rest of the thing. That's what I'm thinking. Because he can't retire. He's Iron Man. He don't retire. He's still going to be in action somehow. Even though he's not in battlefield, he'll be making something. And he'll get in the way. And I think this story, the way it ended it, with both Iron Man and Captain America out of the action completely, is great. Because I think that's how it should end. Because the first part of the movie, because I mentioned it earlier too, that the two main characters of this whole arc, the protagonist is Captain America and Iron Man.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And you could say like their whole story started the whole thing going. Of course, Iron Man especially.
Yeah.
And it feels fitting that at the end of this Endgame, at this big phase, they who was like the pioneer of the whole thing story to end there and give path to the next heroes on.
Yeah.
Because that way it's a good way to pave the story.
Yeah.
Because I think if they keep living and doing whatever they're doing, they'll be in the way. They will outshine everybody else.
As they should.
Yeah. And that's why they shouldn't.
Yeah. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
And I like your counter. Okay, now here's my take on Captain America.
Go ahead.
He should have been the one to sacrifice himself because he would not let go of his past unless he did sacrifice himself.
For me, I thought that would be good too, in a sense, like if he's the one who, kind of like, all this life, all this sacrifice I've gone through is for this moment, and this is how I redeem myself, kind of thing.
Yes.
I thought that would be great too.
Yeah.
And if that would happen, I would probably won't complain about it. But the thing is, like, this is a shitty way to say it, but we need to get rid of Iron Man.
Yeah.
He needs to get out of the picture, or he will outshine everybody even worse than Captain America would ever.
Yeah.
So that's why. Because he as a character, even in the background, is very menacing. Even in Iron Man, in Spider-Man, we see it, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's not his movie, just by him existing, took care of a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And he's just that much big of a super, powerhouse that, the first Spider-Man almost felt like it's almost like an Iron Man movie.
Because the thing is, like, for Captain America to go back in time and be with Peggy, just fucked up her future. Because she was supposed to be with another guy.
That's fine. No, I don't think so. Is he?
Yeah.
Did she actually get married and whatnot?
Yeah, remember in
was it the daughter or
Civil War? Yeah, exactly.
Was it her daughter?
No, niece. So
Niece,
how,
right? That was what I
so
thought.
how are you gonna explain to Peggy, hey, by the way, I kissed your niece in the future? Don't say anything.
I'm like, why would you explain it? Are you insane? Are you the type that got slapped by your wife because you said hi to girl in the SkyTrain? Like, are you serious?
Because they were trying to set up that Steve and Sharon are supposed to get together.
Are they?
Or something like that, right?
But then she was like a spy too and whatever, right?
Yeah, but they kissed, right? So I was like, oh, maybe there's a little romantic thing going. And then it turns out, no, he just really misses Peggy for whatever reason.
Well, it's a first love. First love don't die.
But but could you imagine, as you said, right? When he was facing all the Thanos' army and he was by himself, and he was just like, I can do this all day. I really wish he said that. I really wish
if
he
he
said
that. My stock of like Captain America would go up like sky high.
Yeah, I can do this all day.
Like he's like, I could do this all day, and it's like portals start opening, like as he get ready to like this futile fight, 1 versus million.
Yeah.
Then portals start opening and people start coming in, and then he goes, Avengers assemble.
Yeah.
That would have like killed it. That would be like the best part of the movie. Instantly.
That would have been really cool.
Because the thing is, this part made me hate Sam. Because it does. Because it looks like he was about to say something. It does, right?
Yeah.
He's about to say something, and then you could hear him took a breath too. And then Sam, Captain, this is Sam, like, what the hell? Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like,
you ruined this moment.
Exactly. You just stole his thunder. Like, what the fuck? Nobody want to listen to you. Like, fly away.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough.
I was actually pissed off about that.
I know. It legit looked like he was gonna say something cool.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Okay, let me throw this on you too. Let me put this on you. When if Captain America got the gauntlet instead, and then Thanos was like, "I'm inevitable," Captain America was like, "I'm just a kid from Brooklyn."
Whew.
See, right? That fits his character.
Yeah, it does. That's the thing. Like,
and I'm
especially
just a kid from Brooklyn.
when he gonna snap, especially if he had a moment to like a quick reminiscing, just to see the whole area where he's standing right now in front of this army of heroes trying to protect the whole universe, right?
Yeah.
From this thing, and then what he says, like, I'm not a
just,
hero. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. If he does that. Damn. if that moment were there, I'd be like, damn.
Right?
That would be sick. But that's again, back to my point. We need to get rid of Iron Man.
Yeah. Let him be.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if he does, like, just any of that, like, just like I could do this all day, or like I'm a kid from Brooklyn. Whew. You got my heart pumping there.
Right? Yeah. See, I think that would have been slightly more emotional than what we got in this movie.
Yeah, because Iron Man, like when he says "I am Iron Man," it's a good throwback to
the first
movie.
Yeah.
And I think you told me that was a completely ad lib too, right?
Yeah, that scene was
no, like the first one. Yeah, the first Iron Man. When he says "I am Iron Man," yeah,
and also this one too, because originally he said something else.
Yeah,
but then they were just like, oh, you know what? How about you try this? And they reshot that scene. Yeah. So So he snapped and said, "I am Iron Man." So that's actually a reshot.
I see. Because I don't know. For me, I mean, I thought that was cute. Cute.
Yeah, but it's not as impactful as I'm a kid. I'm just a kid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like because especially like at that moment, like you could see that Captain America was like beaten to a pulp. He was on the floor, probably with a broken neck and ribs or something.
And he still
and he still stood up. And he said any of that line. He stood up in front of this big battlefield.
Yeah, he was ready to just take them all on.
Exactly. And I was like, if he's doing that and just like at the end just snap and it's like, I'm a kid from Brooklyn, I'm like,
I think you would have cried there.
oh, I would have fucking screamed. I would have screamed. I was like, holy shit. That's a hero. I would be like, that's a hero. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. But that being said, they did get proper endings. As you said, they got proper endings for their story. Right?
Yeah.
And
it's just that's the thing. Like, Captain America got like this really too cool liner, right?
Yeah.
It has these 2 lines that I wish they used it at the end somewhere. That's for me, not a nitpick, but it's kind of like
what could have been.
What could have been. Like, if only, you know.
You know, it is a nitpick. You might as well just say
guess,
it's a nitpick. Now, that being said, was it I think either the directors or the writers of this movie said like the Captain America Iron Man story arc cannot be completed until they were 180 from who they are originally.
But they are, right?
So I was trying to say this earlier in our previous podcast episodes, but without trying to spoil it.
Right.
But you can kind of see like Captain America became more selfish at the end.
Yeah.
Right? He became very selfish at the end.
At the end, he's just full selfish. Like, I don't care anymore.
He went back in time, got with Peggy, and was just like, you know what, I'm not going to tell you about anything or whatever. Just take the shield.
That's my own thing,
And then Iron Man becomes completely selfless, where he was willing to sacrifice
himself for everything.
So it was like that's how the director or writer saw it. Like it was a circle. And now that I was talking about this, it popped in my brain. Captain America, best friend in the whole widest world, Bucky, not even
a shot of him doing anything, right?
Yeah.
Because can I tell you something?
What's that?
What is he gonna do?
I mean, they could have had a better. No, I mean like a better interaction, not just fighting together, but like better interaction, and not just like
what?
Not just like, hey, don't take all the stupid with you. I mean, they could
that was like a punchback from
exactly. But I wish they had like, I don't know, like another scene or something together.
I don't know, because again, sorry to whoever listening and whoever a fan of Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I don't feel anything from Winter Soldier. I don't feel the appeal for him as a character. I don't feel the appeal of him as a combatant.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't feel anything special from him. Like, his arm could be normal arm or whatever, and it would change nothing. That's what it feels like to me. He never had a spotlight. He never done anything that makes me go like, whoa, you know? Like, it has to be this guy. He's in that position because he's Captain America best friend that they just kept trying to keep alive, right? If he's dead, it wouldn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say.
So basically, you're trying to piss off Lady A.
Yeah, that too. But what I'm saying, like, I don't know, because Lady A was like very adamant, but he's the best character like ever. Like, I don't see it.
I don't see it either, to be honest.
So I don't know why. It seems like there's some hidden something happening, but I don't see it. Like, the way it was portrayed, he was portrayed very, I don't want to say lousy, but weak. The character is not very expressionist. Of course, he's very subdued, right? Because he's very assassin-like and whatever. Cool, awesome. But then make something out of him more flashy. Make his metal arm do something.
Like a rocket arm or a rocket punch?
Sure, or whatever. Like, make
or laser beams?
Whatever. Whatever does it make it cool. Or like, I don't know. Maybe if he has a gun that like he touched with his right hand, he could like transform into like this, I don't know, Mega Man Buster or whatever. Whatever. Like, make him interesting. Now he's just a dude with a metal arm for all I know, and he's like a half Jax from Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but because they're best friends.
But how has he impacted Captain America other than Civil War? I mean, Civil War,
Civil War, not only Civil War and the first Captain America movie, he had a sizable role in those two movies.
But that's in the first one, but it's when he's in the past, right? All interaction, whatever, it's amazing. But
Captain America was willing to outlaw himself for Bucky.
Yeah.
And then in this movie, he was just like, all right, see ya.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, let's just say he's willing to outlaw himself for Bucky, right? Okay, let's just say Bucky died there.
Yeah.
Okay, Bucky died. Oh, boo-hoo. And then the story goes on, right?
Yeah.
And then now the whole time he was just like fighting someone else, and like the character of Bucky just doesn't exist. Well, probably maybe something that affects him to make Civil War.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? At least the character doesn't shine at all. It doesn't pick interest. It doesn't do anything. He's just a dude with a gun, in a way, just shooting a rifle, right?
That's why there's a TV show with him and Falcon,
Yeah.
which it further establishes
Flesh
his
out the
character.
character?
Yeah, exactly. Which I thought was pretty cool, but could have done better.
Okay.
But that being said, I do wish Captain America and Bucky
Had more interaction.
Yeah, because there are
Best friends. The besties of the best.
Yeah, just like Iron Man and War Machine didn't really interact in this movie either.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they kind of had a moment at the end, but it's just like I wish they could have like laser beamed something together or something.
I don't know. I think Thor and Iron Man combination move was probably one of the best moves they did in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Okay, this is a nitpick.
Yeah, what's that?
Because Iron Man did like this full combo with Thor, right? So he kind of do Freedom Gundam full burst mode at Thanos, right?
Yeah.
And Thanos did the spinny things to like block it off. He got pushed back early too, right?
Yeah.
But he started pushing back, and it's like just to show how big of a threat he is, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And I think one of the ladies hero movie time there was that too, right?
Yeah.
When there were like 3 of them shooting a beam and Thanos just got blasted like half a continent away. Makes me go like,
I would, I'd chalk it up as surprise attack, or he was just tired because before that he was getting fucked up by Scarlet Witch,
right?
So and he had to rain fire on everything,
Right. Okay,
So,
I'll take it.
Okay, now you also brought something up.
Moving on. I'll do this for 2 hours. Let's go.
No. But actually, you brought something up that I was gonna mention. So you know how I was talking about how the female part, the team up was necessary, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, a lot of the people, mostly the guys, said that's pandering and all that stuff.
Right.
But how come no one said anything about Iron Man, Thor, Captain America?
Just like three versus Thanos, right?
Yeah. Happened to be in the same area. Happened to just get out.
I
of
agree
their
that
front.
too. Because for me, I thought that was kind of crappy in a sense that I mean, the thing is like I could say that for me, if Thor wasn't there, I would be okay. Actually, I would be happier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. If Thor wasn't there, it was just Captain America, Iron Man, and
like,
Thanos.
Yeah,
that's a grand finale.
Yeah,
that's where you start the big battle. Yeah.
Then I'll be like, okay, I can forgive that.
Yeah, that's.
But because Thor was there,
yeah.
Then you're just like, okay,
where's the rest?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I know they be like, oh yeah, they were under the rubble and whatever. And like, it
bullshit.
Feels like, yeah, exactly.
Bullshit.
That's what it is. Bullshit. Like,
if they wrote it to be like that, they can rate it whatever they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a screen time that I thought. Like, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah. So the fact that no one said anything about that, but they're like, oh, all these females are all together, it's like, come on, man.
Though in the defense for the female part, they actually done it really well. Though they actually said it's actually cool. so like the Valkyrie just like ripping a dragon thing with like the spine with just a spear. I thought that was sick.
Yeah, actually, Valkyrie and Wasp and Rescue, which is.
And I was surprised that Pepper was. In an Iron Man suit. I did not remember that part at all.
Yeah, in the comics, she's called Rescue. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was I was surprised about that too.
Yeah,
so like, that was pretty cool.
Everyone did awesome.
Yeah, they did their part.
Yeah. Except for Mantis. I don't know what she does though.
She just touched people and make them go to sleep, right?
I think so. Well, but in the comics, she's supposed to be like a master martial artist. And this one, she's kind of like an awkward alien.
How do I say this? What's I don't think master. Well, she's little. Thanos could like wrestle with her.
Yeah, that's the thing, because the way she's portrayed in the movies,
is very awkward and weird. We didn't know that she could do any battle at all, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in fact, she shouldn't even be on a field, if anything.
I think so. just like T'Challa's sister. Well, you're a scientist. Why are you in the field?
Yeah, but she has a weapon, so it kind of makes sense.
Right. I guess true.
Yeah.
But if you put it that way, like she has the ability to put things to sleep or mess up with their mind, right?
Yeah, but she has to touch them, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest. Like, she's like a tiny bug.
Yep.
And you're fighting against an alien with 4 arms and like a giant maw.
Yeah, and there's some enemy that could like even kill you without touching you. So there's that. I kind of like felt it's a bit sad that Scarlet Witch didn't have a full psychic battle with
the Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw. Oh, that would have been like really sick.
See, that would have been cool. Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and him having a sorcerer battle.
But the thing is, like, I think the power balance is too messed up because we clearly know that Doctor Strange is like out of this world, and Scarlet Witch clearly just destroyed a lot of crap by herself too.
Yeah, she almost killed Thanos by herself. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, the power creep here is starting to go exponentially too high.
I don't know about power creep on this sense, though. Because it has been established that she is very strong, right?
Right. But now we're getting to, like, almost, like, comic book level threats a comic book level power.
Uh,
Before it was kind of like reasonable.
yeah,
but
they're kind
now
of like
it's
on the same ground.
yeah,
Now
but-
she's kind of like overpowering.
Yeah, like Doctor Strange, Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch, Thor.
Thor too. Thor felt kind of weak.
He found weakness, but
Yeah.
but remember in Ragnarok,
Yeah.
he's like he reached godhood at
Yeah.
that point, right? So that's why I throw him in there.
control and whatever.
Yeah, and Captain Marvel,
Mhm.
like all these characters are like each of them has like the power of an Infinity Stone almost.
Right.
So like they're almost like impossible to beat.
Oh, it didn't come across as that, but
Well,
in
it's
this
a lot
movie,
to
at
show.
least, yeah, yeah,
What do you think overall?
it's great.
It's amazing, eh?
Yeah,
Was it worth the wait?
I wasn't waiting. I didn't wait.
No, was it worth watching all these movies just to
Oh,
get this point?
I say so. More like watching the rest of the movie makes it that worth. The more invested you are, especially with the two main protagonists,
Yeah.
the better this movie becomes.
Right.
If you're very invested in the two main character and the antagonist, then this movie is everything you wished for.
Right. So can you imagine me being the kid I was watching this all the way back in 2007 and waiting for this moment? I'm like a fucking old
You're
man
like,
now.
Something's coming out. Something coming out.
Yeah. like every year
Mm.
there's at least 2 Marvel movies. At one point there was 3 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And now of course COVID, you know,
It
the
got
timeline
extended or
reset,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
But now we're slowly getting back to things, and now I think we're gonna eventually get like 3 movies, and like in between these 3
Right.
movies, we're gonna have like a show,
Uh-huh.
right? So we're getting a lot of Marvel stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic
That's
here,
fine.
but I think we may or may not get the point where there's gonna be a burnout, where it's gonna be like,
Oh, I think it will be. There
Yeah.
will be. Like either they have to do something about like to freshen it up, but with the way it's going, they really
yeah, it's like it's too much
Yeah.
going on at once, and like if you want to keep up with the stories,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit more tougher.
uh
But that being said, Endgame is the best
yeah.
movie,
I-
I'd say.
Yeah, from all the way, especially with the build up, especially.
Objectively, I'll have to say this is like number 1. But personally, it's not my number 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense? But
What is your number one?
I guess we'll talk about that when we do a tier list later.
That's
on.
right.
Yeah. But for me, I would say don't skip this. You just the whole point of watching all these MCUs is for this.
For this moment.
So you
It's
can't
like,
skip this. I know it's 3 hours and you're just like, oh man, come on. But it didn't feel like 3 hours.
It's a good 3 hour. Like
It is a good 3 hours.
It's something that you'll enjoy.
Yes. All this buildup was just for this moment.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you're eating all the foods on the side and missing the main dish.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. Come on, man.
This is the main dish.
Yeah. It may look weird, you know, there's purple and there's green in there, but
Oh, green.
this is good. Yeah, purple being Thanos and green being Hulk.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
what's your ranking?
I'm gonna put it like 9. I'll give it a 9. 9.5 maybe. Even 9.
I think I might have to give it a 9.5.
Yeah.
No, 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.25.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9. It's a really good movie.
It is a good movie, and there's
It's amazing if there's anything.
it's a perfect ending.
Yeah, the way it ended, it ends an arc. Like you'd feel it.
Yeah,
Like from on out, it's a possibility. Like
Yeah.
a new realm of possibility. And that's a good way to start in something new, right?
exactly. Yeah, it's a perfect ending. Not only is it a perfect ending, but it's also like a perfect, like, how can I say, like a
Transition.
transition to the next phase. Yes, yeah. So everything about this movie just
It's good. It's
it
really,
works.
really good.
Yeah, even though we have our slight
Nitpicks here and there.
problems,
But that's just up to preference, right?
preference, and it's always gonna be like that. There's always
Yeah,
gonna be something
there's
that we
always
want to
something,
change. Yeah. But overall,
It's really good, yeah.
it's really awesome. I remember watching this in theaters, and people were crying when Stark died.
I remember people were going, like when Tony Stark was interacting with like, his dad and all too.
Yeah,
There's this thing and that thing. At that time, I have no idea. I'm like, who's this guy? Why?
Yeah,
why
why-
is Tony this? Yeah, I have
Yeah.
no idea.
the thing is, like, when we were watching this in theaters,
Mhm.
normally when I watch movies in the theaters,
Mhm.
the audience don't really react as much. Expect like when you're watching horror movies, people are gonna be screaming and stuff,
Yeah.
right? But in terms of like this kind of movies,
Yeah,
audience don't
everybody.
really.
I don't know. As far as I
Don't
remember,
reaction.
they do a hell lot, didn't they?
No, yeah, but like for this movie,
Yeah.
they did.
They
Did
want,
this.
like when there's something big happen, people go whoa. They would even clap. They
Yeah,
would, yeah.
when Captain America held out the hammer,
Everybody was like
like,
hyped.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what surprised me. Like
Yeah.
this movie brought out the energy in everyone
Yeah.
when we watched it in the theaters.
It's like watching a concert.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was worth it. The
It
10 years
is.
for this concert,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's a whole build up for this moment.
Yeah, and I don't think we're ever gonna get something this big for a long time.
That's kind of like my sad part too. Like I watched this with everybody too, but I don't understand the hype.
Yeah.
I don't feel the energy. Like I've known a little bit part here and there. Like I know like there's one part where like Captain America tried to lift Mjolnir and kind of budge a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And people go like, oh, and now this like the payout, and he's actually worth it, and everybody go like, yo. I'm like, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that something that you kind of wish you were a part of since the beginning?
Hell yeah. Because seeing all these people, filled up with emotion and reacting a certain way, because these people don't know each other.
Yeah.
But they all share the same feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're in this moment as a group with the same thought and emotion, right?
Right.
And you're the only person who's alienated. You're just there and watching around like, why are these people so happy? Why I don't feel the way they are?
Yeah.
You know how shitty that feels? It really sucked. You go like, oh, and they felt really sad when certain things happen. I'm like,
I mean, I guess.
I wonder what happened with this character. Why do people feel that closely related? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But at that time, it was hard to predict that.
Of course, definitely. Because I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm going to tell you, people want to watch this movie because it's a good thing. So I decided to tag along. Nah. Now I understand why.
So now are you going to be more open? You're going to keep your eyes open for these kinds of things now?
Yes, because now there's a bunch of movies coming in. There's a show that I'm interested. I, for one, is super interested in Loki.
Yeah.
Because I like the character and whatever. I don't know about Black Widow. I don't even know about Homecoming. I don't know about Winter Soldier, especially Winter Soldier. I don't know if I'm going to be interested in it.
Yeah.
The thing is like, because how do I say this? This moment, I felt like I missed something great with Endgame, at that moment.
Yeah.
And as you said too, anything around this magnitude won't come up anytime soon. And it's maybe not even going to happen ever again, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of thing. Like now I'm skeptical. They put something this great. And I know with the history of men is that when they do a masterpiece, the next great thing that they say they're going to do, it won't be great. But I don't know that, right?
Well,
I have an expectation they will do something great.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put it as much as Endgame, if that makes sense.
It is. But like if you look back at some of the biggest movie franchises, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Because that thing, everything that you said there, by the way, was already a written thing, right? Like Harry Potter have their book ready. Like their whole thing was already set up.
Yeah.
So now from there, it's just a matter of actor and the way the director do whatever they want to do, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings, especially that's a book of legends. Like that's we're gonna watch that too, by the way, later.
Yeah.
But that thing was already written out. It's already flashed out, and now you just gotta relive the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way to mess it up. But Marvel, it's a mess. Each hero have their own story. They're fighting their own thing, and suddenly they were forced to go together. And then now there's this other thing that they're trying. Like now, this isn't like a story. This is a blender.
Yeah.
And depending how well the mixture is, how it's turned out delicious or complete trash, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel more risk betting into this, getting more invested into this whole thing than investing to something that's like fully written already. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. So you felt like you missed out on something, but the thing is, there's always a chance to be a part of it the next time.
Yeah, I know, but it's like gotcha, right? There's always a chance, but again, like for me, I'm very skeptical
right.
by nature. So I mean, I now I'll pay more attention. Definitely, I will watch some stuff. Like I'll try to be more involved in it.
Yeah.
Especially with the character that I like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I'm still gonna be like, I don't know if they're gonna pull out something amazing, kind of like that.
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell.
Only
right?
time will tell.
I mean, Marvel is not stopping anytime soon.
And I hope they don't. I hope they go even crazier if there's anything. They pull out all the stops and just go as creative as they can and be as entertaining as they can be.
Yeah, well, I know they will. I mean, they have to, right? That's the next step.
Just because they have to doesn't mean they're going to.
They will.
That's a lot of faith, and I like that.
Yeah.
If a fan of a long time can say that with that much conviction, it inspired the people, especially like me, to believe in.
I'm always gonna be a fan because I'm fucking buying their toys and their dolls.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we rambled long enough. This is the longest episode so far. I think for like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, we're gonna have like this kind of
split. Yeah.
Because like
it's a big thing.
It's wrapping up the entire franchise,
right?
Or at least for now. So, anything else you like to add in there?
No, not really. That was everything. That was a delicious cake.
Yes, like as a fan, and since watching this since Iron Man 1 in the theaters as a kid, it's just like seeing all these comic book characters come to life and seeing it close and starting anew again. It's just crazy.
But you have been a fan even before the movie, right?
Oh yeah,
You've read the comic book and whatever, right?
Yeah. So seeing these characters come to life is crazy. And I
bet so.
I hope DC is able to pull off something like this.
Oh yeah. Competition is always great.
But the thing, because I was always, as I grew older, I became more attracted to DC
because they're darker.
The DC storylines.
Because that's very dark and gritty.
It
right?
is darker. It's more adult in nature.
Yeah,
and they're more willing to go in that direction.
Exactly. Right? Because I was surprised when I was Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I told you you're gonna like it because
I love it.
Yeah,
it's amazing. But like because especially as we're doing the podcast too, we've been doing all this movie, and it shows me how clean this whole Marvel universe thing is.
Yeah, I know now they've gotten more bloody and more dirt on them, but like before it was like
even that it was like clean, but like because like I'm talking about like storyline and execution too, right? It was really done from a good guy point of view.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is because like even I think we watched Injustice too, right? Together, was it? Was it Justice League?
Justice League?
I don't know what did we watch. I think we watched something together, but I thought that story was pretty dark too, and I really enjoyed it too. But one or the other.
Yeah. I just hope DC is able. Yeah, as you said, competition is good, and I hope DC because I like DC characters. I like Green Lantern. I like Batman, Superman. All those guys.
I agree. Like before I only know them a little bit from video games and like a little bit here and there, right?
Yeah.
But then now I kind of see the Marvel side and I kind of see a little bit of the DC side too, right?
Yeah.
And then now I think both of them are like amazing at what they're doing.
Yeah, in their own right?
Yeah, and the last couple of things that they've been doing has been amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I hope this just push them to even push out more insane stuff and that's just more entertainment and that's amazing.
Actually, now you inspired me to show you a movie. It's like
another one.
Like a DC movie. It's a comic book hero movie. But it's like dark.
Cool. What is it called?
Watchmen.
Nope, never heard of it.
Good. It'll be a good experience for you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right then.
Anyways, so that's all we have to say, and that's it for now. And go ahead, Bosch. Close this off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is Boscha.
This is Alex.
This is Fool's Odyssey episode 49. Thank you for listening. See you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.